Hey everyone. Okay, welcome to Opal Oracle. Welcome to mid-month. Is that better? Yeah, a little bit. So, mid-March, we're still in Pisces season. I always look at the wrong side, sorry. We're going to start with Pisces and go all the way around. I'll say the time in between. There's a lot of crows that showed up. Feel free to timestamp it. Okay, let's get right into it. Pisces. We have the High Priestess. Can you see that? High Priestess and this beautiful sunset card. Some of you are separating your energy from your mother. Like you're growing up, however old you are. There's something about that. I see it's very important, Pisces, what you say yes to, what you say no to. There's something about going up and down, okay? There's something up and down about this situation, but it's like 70-30, right? It's like 70% bright, 30% in like daytime, 70, nighttime, 30. I guess I heard you made a deal when you became a Pisces, so you have to use good discernment, okay? Yeah, all these crows, it's really strong. It's like, be responsible, okay? There's also something about taking like if you go out, like don't take any, I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I see this like try not to take anything from anyone that you don't know, okay? Whether that's energetically, a drink at the bar, like whatever, just don't, you know what I mean? Don't take candy from strangers, okay? Something like that. All right, interesting. I can only record these so long, but I'm really intrigued by these crows right now. Crows also represent Saturn, so it could be that some of you are sorting out some sort of lesson with Saturn as well. So just be aware of, like, from the history that you've gained, the experience that you've gained thus far, using that accordingly, okay? Using that knowledge appropriately. And happy birthday, by the way. All right, Aries. We got 310, Aries. We have the 8 of Cups and this beautiful card. This is all coffee. I think that's very interesting how they stack it. There's a lot of stacking in these cards, so there could be something you're like organizing, okay? Very, very organized though, right? Like this is a lot of stuff, and you have to do it a certain kind of way to be able to have it be solid. I sense you should also take advantage of this time that you have. I heard alone, like something about some independence in your own emotional being. Like take some time for yourself to just ground yourself and like, because you're preparing yourself for something, right? There's preparation here. So just know that whatever you're doing is actually purifying something. Like, well, I heard that you are pure, and because she has her eyes closed, I don't know if you can see that, it's like just be real relaxed, okay? As you're organizing all these things inside of you, you know, or organizing all these things outside of you, like just remember to, like, you know how to do it, right? Look at all these bags. Like you know how to do whatever it is that you need to do. So don't worry about it. There is something also about I just saw this moon, so maybe there's something about, I don't know if you can see that. Maybe like a week or so from now, from when I'm recording this anyway, there could be something like a week and change where you sort something out. You could be craving coffee too, or like caffeine or something. Caffeine, oh, I was going to read you that book too. I forgot. But the point is that whatever it is that's going on here, you can handle it. Okay? You can totally handle it. Love you. It's 5:45 Taurus. We have the 10 of Pentacles, and I call this my drama card. This is actually a ceremonial, there's something ceremonious about this situation. Okay? There's something about the family that's really important. Perhaps you're thinking back for some of you about how maybe there's something that you should think about of like how much you've given of yourself for others, right? Give yourself some sort of credit about that. Well, like say I heard you've sacrificed a lot for your children. Okay. Obviously for some of you, it could just be people that are younger than you or people in your life, but like, it's not like a technical sacrifice because this is actually not real. This isn't happening here like now. This image represents actually where they're kind of pretending. So you also don't have to pretend to be anything to your family, to people that are really close to you. You can be yourself, okay, in totality. And that people really love you, and, that things really do become sweeter with time. And of course, like with family, like there's always things that happen that are like really beautiful and soft and loving. And then there are times where like it can hurt, but like, I sense this more just, it's an understanding about it. It's not something that's actually happening, okay? I also see not to blame yourself for anything, okay? You don't have to. And also examining your children, like for those of you who have them, like look at them, right? Or even people younger than you, but just like look at them and be like, wow, I heard you're such a reflection of me, right? There's something about learning from that, okay? Love you. 8-10, Gemini. We have the 9 of Swords and this other air card. You kind of have the most challenging one in a way. But we've been talking about this. It's like you're allowed, if your mind starts doing something in this time, take a breath. You know how a kid goes, la 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 la, I can't hear you, I can't hear you. There's something about that. Like if you start to become frustrated, then that actually feels good. La 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 la. La 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 la. It like helps you hear your own vibration, right? Because if I was like, ugh, it's such a difference, right? There's something about a higher vibration to something, right? It is Pisces season. You could be having a bit of dreams that are kind of challenging. So, as a person who deals with really heavy dreaming, since I can remember, I personally have a little bit of a hard time. Like I need quiet when I first wake up, to kind of settle into this reality, because whatever goes on in the subconscious or that world, that dimension while I'm sleeping, when I come back into this world, it can be sort of challenging so maybe there's something about being kind of just quiet in between before you go to sleep and when you wake up, right? Like give yourself, maybe you give yourself 10 minutes just of quiet. And even if you live with people, other people, you can be like, hey, I just need a few moments of silence when I wake up. You know, it's what helps me be, instead of being like, shut up, it's too loud in here or whatever. It's kind of like, settle yourself, right? I also see you kind of holding your breath, so pay attention to that. What do they say? Count to 10, right? So maybe it will bring you into a different place of peace. Okay. Yeah, for sure. And the owl is helpful for you this month since it just hooted for you. All right, love you. 11, 10, Cancer. We have the King of Wands and this card here. Well, I see you need to become more in charge of something in yourself. Energetically speaking, it could have something to do with your actions. For those of you who smoke and drink, we talked about this actually. Oh, in your Chiron video, but I haven't posted that yet. But something about smoking and drinking. For those of you who party, you have to be more in control of yourself. Where this isn't relevant, it's your own external actions. Like, there's still something, like you're starting to clear out. We talked about this last year this time. The black bile in your body, right? The shadow in there. It's about something about cleansing, okay? I heard don't go starting any fires, okay? Like, whether this is arguments with other people, or yeah, all these crows are just cawing for no, it's like, ga, 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 ga. It's annoying. It's like, it's kind of, I heard it's bitching, right? So, like, something about it. Just don't be so, try not to be so, if you're irritable, you have to, well, I just heard again, don't go starting any fires, right? Like, be responsible for yourself. It's kind of like, do what you need to do what you need to do. Whatever the actions of other people, you can't control that right now. So just let whatever this black cloud is, like, float. Eventually it'll float away, right? Today's a sunny day. It's been raining for days on end. It changes all the time, right? Maybe chives also are something that could help you. I don't know. I was actually going to read everyone a book about the herbs that relate to their sign, but we'll do that another time, okay? You may also, with this King of Wands too, because I sense that there's this kind of like, it's like something you want to say real bad. Like, maybe you need some physical kind of exercise to get something out of your body so that it doesn't come out of your mouth, okay? Love you. 1426, Leo. We have 6 of Pentacles and these 2 folks here and 2 folks there. Just a minute. Well, you're asking for something. You're praying for something. Or someone could be asking your forgiveness in some kind of way. Try not to let... I guess the crows are strong for everybody, but they're kind of giving off this energy of, like, irritation. So if someone asks your forgiveness, with this being Pisces season and the end of it, it's not about letting everything slide that is inappropriate. You have to decide that for yourself. But there is something about forgiving the father. Because I see here that someone knows better about something, but they just are kind of ignoring what's going on here. There's so many animals around that are like barking and squawking, and there's a lot of external energy around you that I think could be throwing you off in a kind of way, and you're kind of just like, fuck it, I don't want to hear it, you know? Maybe someone's like, please, Leo, please, will you? But you're just like, I don't care, I don't want to talk about it. But I mean, this is a 2-week period, so I guess this is what you got. I do see that you don't have to beg for anything, and be aware where you're putting your energy, your time, your money, okay? That's important to remember. And remember that the past is the past, okay? Love you. 17 minutes even. That's the star card. Beautiful. Virgo. We have, the Empress, and this beautiful card of these incense here. Well, I see that you're almost completed a cycle. You're starting to put all the pieces together. I see that you're thinking about multiple seasons, like you're thinking ahead of time, but I want you to know that it's important to just relax. Okay? It's important for you to sorry, these crows are kind of driving me nuts. Leo just had the same message. Your neighbors, try not to let the little things like externally affect you. If you need to, if the environment is too loud for some reason, well, figure out how to separate yourself from it somehow, some way. I see for some of you, incense literally could be very helpful in calming you. We've been talking about this for a while, but it's important for you to have that quiet space, okay, wherever that little sanctuary is, like, because the Empress is generally like a pregnant person too. It's not whether you are or not, or someone in your life, but this is about you. So it's like, just go easy on yourself, go easy on your inner child. Know that you, that all things happen with time, and I sense by the time Aries season comes around, spring hits, right? Well, I heard there will be celebration, right, for something. Just try to be at peace with and enjoy life, right? Now the crows finally stopped, right? Like, know whatever if there's any kind of stress or anything, like, stress comes and goes, right? It's how we deal with it, how we connect with it. You were 17 minutes even, that's the star card. Whatever's going on here is absolutely fated, and it's all a natural process, okay? I do see getting ready for something in a kind of way, but don't rush it, right? Like, we're always ready for whatever it is that's in front of us. It's just sometimes the ego doesn't think that we are, right? Love you so much. 19, let's do 20 minutes even. Yes, Libra. We have 5 of Pentacles, and this beautiful woman sweeping, cleaning up. Well, I like that he's walking away from that door. You see that? Well, you're leaving some sort of fear behind, Libra. That's good. I see that you're starting to you're like cleaning up the corners of your mind. Okay? Deep in your psyche. And what's interesting about that is psyche in Greek, which is also one of the it's a goddess, right? It actually means soul. So just something to think about. Both these cards have religious connotations, so it's important for you to have faith, okay? For you to know that each and every little effort that you do is important, right? There's something here too about whatever it is that Leo has a message for you also. You have to be dedicated to something to be able to achieve whatever this is. Okay, there's something strong about dedication. There's something about being okay with being brave and whatever it is during this time that you're kind of like, okay, I know that there's still work to do, but I'm willing to put in the work, right? Slow and steady. No one else is going to clean the house unless, if something needs to get done, well, do it, right? If you need help doing it, then you have to ask. I heard being pissy that, being upset that no one is helping you, or like that you're doing something all by yourself in some kind of way. You could have a bit of this feeling, but this just goes back to some sort of test where it's like, have you learned how to ask for help yet? Or are you still struggling with it on your own? Okay? Like, if you need help, you gotta ask. Okay? I do see some sort of dedication to God also in a certain kind of way. I don't know if you like volunteer for an organization, or you volunteer your time somehow, or maybe you just even just cleaning up, like taking care of your home, the hawk. Taking care of your body is really important, okay? Perhaps you need to clean something up about that. And you don't have to be afraid of who you are, okay? Love you. 2320, Scorpio. You got the hawk too. 5 of Swords and this card here, which is very cute to me. Just a minute. Whatever your relationships are directly reflective. Whatever's going on in your relationships with people is directly reflective of who's the first person that scolded you. Right, it's interesting. We have the hawk like crying, right? Like, ah, ah, ah. And then this little bird over here. Like, how we say things is a direct reflection of how people talk to us when we were small, right? Same thing. And that is a direct relation to how we relate to other people, whether we're this person or this person or this person or this person, right? The crows were here earlier. The hawk is here now. I mentioned this to you before, where the crow turns into the hawk, right? The crow's very squawky. It's a beautiful bird. It teaches many hard lessons, good lessons. But the crows hold on to this. The crows are still pissed at the hawk for some long story, long ago. And they hold on to that, and it's like it's like a pit, you know, like a rock, like a pit in their stomach. And so there's something about the hawk being like, let's use our awareness, because a hawk's call also is called a cry. You're allowed to be sad when you're sad. You don't, Mars and Pluto, you don't have to be so strong all the time. I'm not saying any of you have to cry about anything, but I'm saying you're allowed to express, like, that hurts my feelings, the hawk, right? Don't be mean to me, crow. Why are you attacking me, crow? That's so old. Leave me alone. Right? You're allowed to say to whatever this is, like, leave me alone. And because it's swords, it's like things in your mind sometimes, and it's your communication, right? Because you're so strong. You really are. When you say things, Pluto and Mars, when you say, and Mercury's in retrograde, remember, so like when you say things, you have to be really, really aware. You don't have to be this person, you don't have to be that person. You can be this person, right? You can be these people if you want to. I also heard don't scold anybody right now. It's not where it's the 5. It's a correct. You need to correct something in the mind, right? I see that praying will also help you very much with that. I also see these little baby angels underneath here. They're closer to the woman, so there's something about the maybe females in your life. They're helping you, like you know. There's a reason it came to me, like. You are safe, and you are loved, and you are protected, okay? You need to know that, right? Because Taurus, right, your opposite, it's very clear, okay? Love you. 27-15, we have Sagittarius, we have the World, and the Snow card. This World card is a little bit different. I like that. It's balancing your masculine and feminine, right? Jupiter's in Sagittarius. It's real big. I heard be nice to the other. Be nice to yourself. I heard that bird song. To everything, turn, turn, turns. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. You know, so wherever you live, winter, right? Like the last few months, I sense you've been thinking about a lot the last few months. For a lot of you, you're thinking a lot about love, right? You're thinking about how to balance yourself out better, where you step on your own toes. You know what I mean? What do they say? You shoot yourself in the foot? Just something like that. Put your foot in your own mouth. I keep coming up with these. I don't know what these little sayings are called, but there's something about it. Like, I heard don't trick yourself into. Gemini, your opposite for March too. It's like a lot about buttoning your lip. Right, so there's something about that, like, instead of, especially Mercury retrograde being your opposite sign, it's like, if emotionally you're feeling kind of cold about something, or something's still stuck, you don't know how to say it, or you've been trying to say it and it's not coming out the way that you want, instead of Jupiter and Sagittarius, right, shooting it out at somebody else, try to look at yourself for a second. Try to look at others and be like, okay, I forget who else had this, but like, how can I learn from this other person what's in front of me? How much is this other person like me, right? Like, of course it's not 100%, but it's like whoever's in front of us, whatever's in front of us, like right now, I don't know if you can see all these like beautiful like pink purple flowers. I don't know what they are. I have to look them up. They just bloomed the other day. But they're surrounding me, you know. And if you hone in on those little things that are really beautiful all around you, then see, I just totally forgot about all this, like, whatever this is. Wow, do you see that little spider right there? It's red. I've never seen a spider that red before. Come here, buddy. There you go. Come on. Go in the grass. I don't kill spiders. It's not nice. Plus, in Huckleberry Finn, after they killed the spider, everything went to shit. So, just let them outside if you see them. Or, you know, try not to let the look, right? Because I could have been like, ah, you know, and getting scared and really reacted super fast. But no, it's like that little thing isn't going to hurt me, you know. And I don't have to be scared of it. You don't have to be scared of anything. And whatever it is that's kind of completing, or whatever it is that you want to come full circle about something, you can't rush the World card. It's reminding you that with the Seasons card that you have to, you know, I just keep hearing, don't worry about what other people are doing. Okay? Be concerned about yourself. Look into yourself. Take this time to be introspective before fire season comes, because when fire's in fire, it can be a lot, and you want to be, you know, whatever, I guess that's still kind of cold in there, it will melt. Okay? Don't worry about it. Love you. 3205 Capricorn. We have the Four of Wands and this beautiful card, which is actually in Transylvania. Well, people are proud of you. You could be at the center of something, like I see, like, people are like listening to you, right? They're all around you, like, hey, what's Capricorn? Like, oh, I'm really proud of you. Some of you obviously could very well be the boss, and people, when you are, because they're all smiling around you, right? So whether you're the boss or if you're the mama or the daddy or whatever, your friend, it's like, know that we are all doing that all the time, right? We're all, the way to change the world is to be a good example. And to let go of any things that have happened, that have, especially things that you didn't expect to happen in life, right? Whatever those things were, I don't sense this is what's happening. Four of Wands is a card of success and people being together and being happy. Homes being good, right? Homes in a good space. It's about really old stuff. This card's about real old stuff. And it's almost like, historically speaking, right? Like, it's not even like when you were alive, even for some of you, it's like real old, like family line, like whatever. But the thing is that doesn't have, in one way, it doesn't have anything to do with now. And again, it's about you understanding something about you are home wherever you are, and the only way to change the world is to be a good example. It's not about forcing anyone to do what you want and be the boss. It's not about getting other people to do what you desire or what you see as the best thing to do. It's about something really basic, like also pay attention to your body language. Like, if you put your hands on your hips, women do this when they want to seem bigger, wider, like more important. So, and men will generally put their hands behind their back. Same thing. It's like making wings, like eagle wings. It's a position of authority. So just be aware of your own body language, and that it's not sending off like because you could be saying something really sweet, but perhaps you have big body language. Like, body language is 70% of communications. It's all energetic, right? So be aware of that, okay? Cool. Love you. 3506 Aquarius. Last but not least, we have the Strength card and this beautiful sketch. Isn't that funny? He actually looks like him a bit. Huh. Let's see. You have to tame your ego a little bit. Okay? And I think you know that. I sense for a lot of you, you're trying to, but I sense you're also trying. When you try to do it, you're sort of going about it in... Some of you are seeing the Strength card as like strength, as saying something, doing something, feeling something, like a physical action. But it's not. There's something about a quiet that's important. A quiet reflection is how you tame the ego. Okay? You could be mad at Leo somehow, some way, or like... trying to figure out how to make someone grow up. Of course, this could be you. Some of you could also have that sort of magic skill, like if you write or you draw and you go back in your old notebooks and you look at it, and then you'll see that you like wrote a poem about something and then it came true, or you drew a picture of someone, or you do like maybe you made a collage or something like this. Like what it's saying is what it is that you literally create in the physical world. It connects ultimately to what the next step is. So it's important not to do anything when we're doing something to really have the ego out of it. That's how we receive, we'll receive whatever it is that we're putting out. But if you take the ego out of it, or you're at least aware of that as you're going along, then as the things come to you that you are trying to manifest in a way, trying to make real, that you'll be satisfied when they come. If the ego's attached, then the ego's never satisfied, right? It's like Rahu. It's like it wants more. It's never, there's something about the ego where it's never enough, right? So it's really important to be like, well, practice makes perfect, right? But also something is not exactly, you can't see the whole picture yet. So although it's right in front of you. So there's something about that. Just like take your time, right? You don't have to throw away what it is that you've done. Like, you don't have to... Like that reading in your birthday month in February, you don't have to destroy something to create something, right? Unless you're destroying just your ego, and then you create humanity could create the life that they desire, right? And just be happy sitting in the grass. Right? Right. All right, it's becoming very hot in the sun, so I'm going to go inside to the shade, because the shadow's okay too, and enjoy the rest of this day. I love you all so very much. Happy mid-March. I was thinking, anyone who's still here, I have a really awesome book that a friend actually sent a copy to me of, which I already had, and of course he knew that I had it in some way or another, or that I'd like it. But it basically breaks down like what herbs attach to each zodiac sign, and so if you want, I can make a video about that. Let me know if that's something that you're interested in. Okay. Love you so much. Enjoy the rest of Pisces season. Enjoy the full moon in Libra. Feel free to use the intention of closing out anywhere where the pain is still associated to old relationships, okay? To others. And because it's Pisces in season in Libra, it's like, It's not about receiving an apology or getting the physical thing from whatever that situation is. It's more about just forgiving yourself for whatever way you feel like you could have made a different decision but didn't. Like something happened and, you know, in the past, like, oh, I should have never dated that person, I knew better, or, you know, shoulda, coulda, any shoulda, coulda, wouldas when it comes to relationships and others. And then just forgive yourself and forgive others. It's a good time to do it. All right. Love you so much. Peace.